Engaging celebrity interviews. Exciting updates from Christian filmmakers. Movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely. And so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello and welcome to Faith on Film. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. First of all, I had a chance to interview Catherine Lidstone. Now, Catherine is an award-winning actor and singer. She stars as Mary, the sister of Lazarus, in the series The Chosen. But today we're going to talk about a movie that she is starring in called 47 Days with Jesus, which is a Fathom event releasing March 11th, 12th, and 14th. Then after that, you're going to hear from Rick Heil. Now, Rick is the lead singer for the Grammy-nominated, Dove Award-winning contemporary Christian band SONICFLOOD. SONICFLOOD is an American contemporary worship music band from Nashville, Tennessee that has been touted as the fathers of the modern worship. But first of all, let's take a look at the trailer for 47 Days with Jesus.
Hey, hey!
Dad, Papa just started telling us this amazing story with people singing and dancing.
Oh, yeah? Dad, what are you telling them this time?
The story of the last 47 days of Jesus' life on earth.
Oh, you say the meeting is on Saturday? That's the day before Easter.
Yeah, so?
I gotta spend time with my family.
Don't you realize this is for your family?
Where's Joseph?
Oh, he's on a work call.
This late? You're making the same mistakes that I made. It's painful to watch.
I have to make a choice for my family.
I want my partner back. I want my family to be whole.
If you ever feel stuck or lost, God is still at work in our lives. I have faith things will be okay.
It's life, Joseph. You might miss it if you don't open your eyes.
Catherine, welcome to Faith on Film.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Now, I got to tell you, I saw a pre-screener of this movie called 47 Days with Jesus, and it's coming out, I believe, in March. And I must say, I absolutely loved it. It was.
Oh, thank you.
It was such a great concept. Not only is it very inspirational, but technically it's also very educational. And I really enjoyed watching it. So, but you know what? We just saw the trailer, of course, so that gives us a little bit of a glimpse of kind of what it's about. But can you maybe just enlighten us a little bit more about what really this movie's all about?
Yes, it's a beautiful story. I think it's very relatable. It's basically a very disconnected family is going through a very difficult time in the middle of the Easter holiday. And they are on this journey to go see their in-laws / parents. And the husband is going through a very stressful time at work. And that's creating a stressful environment at the home. And you kind of get to go on the journey of them being ministered to by the gospel story in this family setting with their children and their sort of mentors in the form of their parental figures. So it's a very beautiful story, and I think it's just obviously a great time to be telling it during the Easter holiday. And I think it's just really something we can all identify with.
Well, I really resonated with it because of the fact that I think I was that guy. Early on, I mean, I'm pretty old now, but as I was, when I first got married and as I started my career and all that, I have to admit that I sometimes placed too much importance in the career as opposed to the family. Of course, in my heart, I was saying, but I'm doing this for the family, just like he did in the movie.
Right.
I'm doing this
Isn't
for the
it
family.
crazy?
So this movie really, really ministered to me, if you will. I'm trying to make up for that with my grandkids now, though. I am available to them as often as they need.
Oh, beautiful.
Now, tell me about your character then, Julie. What is it?
Yes.
Juliana Burden.
Yes, Juliana Burdon is the wife and mother in this immediate family, nuclear family. And she is just, I think she's a noble gal. I think she's going through a difficult time and she's trying to find the best way to get through it and to get through to her husband as to what's important to her, how it's affecting the children. And I think what drew me to her is her resolve and resilience and respect. She does all of this in a very respectful manner, seeking the truth, seeking what's right, and trying to guide her husband and her family into a better place.
Yeah. Now, I know that they didn't specifically say anything about it, but it felt to me like it was a Hispanic family because if I remember correctly, his mother at one point or really a couple of times spoke in Spanish, but it's not necessarily a Hispanic family, right? Is it just my wishful thinking because I'm Hispanic?
Well, I know she obviously does come from, her character comes from a Latin background.
Okay.
I don't know if we ever established whether or not Emilio's character does. So maybe in that way it's a little bit more general, but I think it's beautiful that they have that representation in the film for sure.
Well, it just kind of felt good to me, yeah. So how did you get drawn to this movie?
I was presented with this audition while I was traveling, actually. And I just remember, when you're traveling and you're outside of work and you're booked out, you're like, I'm busy. Now I have another thing to worry about. Oh, God. But I read about it and I was very intrigued at how they were approaching these very common problems. And I like a script that's unique. I felt like this one was. Certainly, I loved calling it the Jesus musical. So from my audition process until now, I always say it's just my favorite Jesus musical song or film that I've ever gotten to work on. And it's just because that's how they chose to reveal the gospel storytelling was through Jesus. And so through music and through choreography. And for me, I think just all of that was very appealing to be a part of a project that was so expansive and so relatable and also just done in such a way that you really can get on board with any of the characters. You understand all of their plights and you understand their mental space, their heart space, and it's something that I think we've all been through.
Now, it's not a musical, but I loved how they integrated music into the Bible scenes and the characters would be singing. I just love, because I love musicals and I know they don't want to say this is a musical and it's not because the other half is not. But I just thought that was so cool that the disciples were singing and just all the people around Jesus were singing. It was really wonderful. You didn't get to sing though in it, did you?
Not in this film. I do not. But there are such tremendously talented singers and musicians who are all over this film. So I'm very excited for everyone to see it. Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised you didn't get to sing because as I was reading about you a little bit, I found out you're also a singer.
I am. In fact, it's funny. We had like sing-a-thons in between takes with myself and several of our co-stars who are all very musical. But Lily Pissarro is one of them, and she was on, I think, American Idol or The Voice this past a couple of seasons ago, if not this past one.
Oh, wow.
And she got very far. So there was a lot of musical talent, even in the spoken roles, which all of us were like, oh, we wish we could have sung in the film, but it was okay.
Well, you have an album coming out, don't you? At least
I do. I'm in development right now, and I have several song ideas that we're fleshing out as to what's going to be the best and make the cut. And I'm working with a few different writing groups for that. So it's been a really beautiful season and hopefully more to share very soon.
Well, we certainly would look forward to that. Now, I want to learn a little bit more about you. How, why, when did you decide to get involved in this wonderful world of acting?
Yes. Well, my mother has a fun story from when I was a toddler that I declared at a very young age I was going to be in the TV. I think I was 3, and I don't have any memories of that, but she assures me that it happened. And I think it found its way back to me when I was I think it was in middle school. I heard of drama club, and I was like, what's that? That sounds fun. And then I had a cousin who was auditioning for community theater and regional theater. And I was like, that sounds fascinating. So I just learned a few standard songs from the songbook, and, The Sound of Music was one of them. And I was overjoyed that one of my very first auditions, that's what I used to perform with. And I got cast, and it was such an interesting role. It was like playing the jitterbug in The Wizard of Oz and then being in the vocal underscore, which was in the orchestra pit. And I was the youngest person by like 15 years. And I was like, how did I get put here with all of these grown adults? Like, what's happening? So I had just so much fun. I grew up in a very musical family. We were all playing instruments from a very young age. So that's always really been a core artistic side of me. And then acting found its way to me when I was, I guess professionally, it happened my last year of college. And I realized that everything I had been studying up until that point and everything I had been doing just wasn't fulfilling me the way all of my acting days had. And senior year, I was fortunate enough to be able to perform a senior thesis project, which was by David Rabe, Wonder of the World, the play. And that character was so raucous and out there and outrageous. And I just loved doing it. And it was like me coming back home. So I was very bold in it. Her name was Lois, and she was a suicidal alcoholic. And it was a very comedically written play. And we just really got to have fun with it. So I think that was the biggest kind of wake up call, realizing you know what, maybe this is what I'm made for. And maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so fortunately, my college had a beautiful program. It was called PTP NYC, and they take out, theater majors and anyone interested who's just a hard worker into New York. And we got to perform at the Atlantic Stage 2. I was an understudy for one of the parts. And that was my sort of crash course into the business. And it was really the theater side of the business. But I think that was great training for what you have to go through on 17-hour days on sets when you're running overtime. And theater, I just will always believe, is the greatest acting school you could attend. So.
Well, and I say this all the time on the show, but I really believe that our purposes are kind of already designed or put into us from conception. And it's just up to us to feel it and know it and understand it and believe in it and say, you know what, I'm going to pursue it.
I think you're right. I think that's correct. I feel like it's a beautiful journey of discovering what that is that was placed on your heart at such a young age.
I'll tell you, I have a similar story in that when I was in school, I tried out for a play for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I actually tried out for one of the dwarves, which is weird because I was already 6'1".
Oh my gosh.
But when they found out that I could play the guitar and sing, this is back in sixth grade, they gave me the part of Prince Charming.
Oh, how fantastic. Pretty good upgrade, I would say.
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to not have been my calling. Not because I didn't do well, but because when I was young, also I wanted to do this. I wanted to act, and we went to an audition in Hollywood, and my dad took me in, and I still couldn't drive. I was really young. And he just kind of saw what was there, and he said, no, I grew up in the church. He says, no, this is not for you. And he took me out, and that was the end of that.
Yes, I can relate. My dad, we had gone through a similar journey, and he was willing to go with it for a while. And then we got to the scene of, auditioning in Boston. And, I was growing up in New England, so he would have to drive me 2 hours to my auditions. And I think he just reached a point where I had been signed to an agency down in Atlanta, and he was like, no, you're not moving to Atlanta. You're not leaving your household. We're not splitting up the family. No, this is, you're done. And
Wow.
I used to resent him for Dad, shortchanged me as a kid. But I think it is a dangerous industry, if I'm being very honest. And I think you have to come here with a very strong head on your shoulders if you're going to be able to be protected while you're in this space.
Yeah. But you see, I actually learned that my calling ended up being in Christian TV. I ended up being on the other side of the cameras. I was a director for Christian television. I guess that was it. It wasn't supposed to be acting, although I still am hoping that one day I may get that chance.
Yes.
So tell me, what would you want for people to take away from this movie?
I would just say this film is an encouraging one. I think it's something that really reaches anyone's heart from what we all go through on a daily basis. It's very modern. It's very relatable. Yeah. And as you go through the story and see each person's, psychological space, where are they? What are they thinking? What do they think is right? And how do they realize that maybe they're looking at the situation the wrong way? I think the beautiful thing about it is forgiveness, and that each of us is not perfect, and we are always living and learning, always growing. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, is that we get to do that in a really fun way in this film with the inner story.
Like I said, I very much enjoyed it. How can people keep up with you? How can they follow you and know everything that you're doing? Because you seem to be doing a lot.
Thank you. Yes, it does feel very busy at this moment, and I'm grateful for that. I am on most of the social media platforms. Instagram is at Catherine Lidstone. Twitter is at Kate Lidstone, Cate. And I have a Facebook page. I have a website. You can sign up for my newsletter and get little blasts of interesting things happening, like this film, which will be out in theaters on March 11th, 12th, and 14th. And we're encouraging anyone who, if for some reason it is not playing at your local theater, you are welcome to call and request it. A lot of people's theaters are adding it because that's happening. So it's just an exciting time, and The Chosen's coming out in theaters this month. So we're we're on the ride. It's very exciting. My character will be making an appearance this Thursday, the 15th, and again on the 29th. So it will be beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking a little time to be with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a joy. Hi, I'm Catherine Lidstone. I play Juliana Verdon in 47 Days with Jesus and Mary from Bethany in the Chosen series, and you are watching Faith on Film.
There's a cry rising up from the remnant in this land, growing louder every day. Can you hear us say the unborn child must live? There's a song we will sing, it's the song of victory. Can you hear the sound? The walls are coming down, the unborn child is free. We will stand, it's now or never today. Love is the answer. Can you hear the light inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat. Can you hear the sound? There's a light breaking through the darkness in this land, showing us the way. Can you see the day when unborn lives are saved? We will stand, it's now or never today. Love is the answer. Can you hear the light inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat. Can you hear the life inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat. Can you hear the sound? Every child deserves a chance to live. Wasting of human life must end. Today,
Hear the life inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat. Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat.
can you hear the life inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat. Can you hear the life inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat. Can you hear the life inside every heartbeat, every heartbeat? Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat. Can you hear the sound?
The life inside every heartbeat.
Can you hear the sound?
Welcoming our dear friend who we've known for a long time, and I'm so excited to have on the show today. Rick, welcome.
Thanks, Holly. You're the best.
I tell you, we did Cruise with a Cause. How many years ago? A lot of years ago.
Oh,
When SONICFLOOD
yeah, that was fantastic.
That was fun, wasn't it? We did that cruise together, a couple of them actually.
So,
Absolutely.
Rick, you said she's the best. Does that make me second best?
Yes, it does. No.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to exclude you. You're a blessing.
Oh, thank you.
It can be. Rick, you've got something exciting and new to talk about that's very relevant what's going on politically and culturally right now. So let's talk about this song and how you're releasing it and what it's all about and for.
Yeah. The song's called Every Heartbeat, and we recorded the song to go along with the heartbeat bill, which has been in circulation for a while, for a couple of years now. The footage had been lost for this video, and I finally found it, and I put together a video, and so that was the premiere of Every Heartbeat music video. And the kids singing in the background, those are my kids and Cece's kids, and they've since grown up and they're at college.
Oh my gosh, I know, and quite accomplished in their own right, especially your daughter with singing, and oh my gosh.
She is incredible. She's getting her master's in vocal performance at NYU in New York, and it's pretty insane. My son, he's a triple major, triple minor at Vanderbilt. He's brilliant, and so we're so proud of our kids. And you know, it's sad that people take for granted life, and especially in the womb, and they want to separate life out of the womb with life in the womb. And we know that God creates all life, and all life is sacred. And so that's what basically the Heartbeat Bill is about: protecting life in the womb. A heartbeat is detected roughly 6 weeks into a pregnancy. And so we were just happy to be a part of getting the message out that God loves life, and we need to protect it.
Hey, have you contacted groups, or is any major pro-life group taking this song and aware of it?
There's a lot of people that are a part of the march. They're excited about it, but we've just put it out there for everybody to use, and that's what really we're all about. We're about singing God's message, whatever He puts on our heart, and most of the message is about life and about celebrating Jesus as our Savior and worshiping Him. And so that's really the incentive for SONICFLOOD, which, by the way, is 25 years old. So we're celebrating our 25th year anniversary this year, and we're gearing up for a tour to roll around in the fall. And if you want to bring us in, not you personally, Holly, but if you want us to come to your house,
yeah, that would be great.
You can you can send us an email at booking@sonicflood.com. Bring us into your town. We want to be a part of a night of worship with you.
Now, this tour that you're doing, are you going to kind of really brand it as a pro-life tour?
Basically, what we're about and what SONICFLOOD has always been about is worship. And so it'll be a night of worship and lifting up the name of the Lord. And when we lift up Jesus, He draws all people to Himself. And so it's just a night of worship and testimony about how God has sustained me through dealing with Crohn's disease for a very long time. Since I was 11 years old, I've had most of my intestines taken out, and we need intestines to live. I have 3 feet of intestines right now, and God is sustaining me to do His will. And so it's a miracle every day. And if you want proof that God is still doing miracles, here I am.
Here no you
tubes.
Are. Yes.
No tubes, anything. So nice. You guys be on the lookout for SONICFLOOD in your area.
I'm curious, what do the other guys think about getting the band back together?
They're amped. They really want to be a part of seeing something amazing. And I think worship is the cure for what ails us as a nation these days. It's sad to see so many people living in hate and divisiveness, and we know that God is love. And when we as God's people cry out to Him, humble ourselves, repent of our sins, and seek His face, we know that He will heal our land. And we need this land healed. We need the divisiveness gone. We need to love our brother and our sister in this nation.
I'm a former worship leader. Well, I shouldn't say former because I worship all the time. But I mean, as actually leading worship at a church, I did that for 10 years. And you are so correct. I totally understand this. It just has a very healing nature when you worship. Yeah. I mean, whether I'm ill or whether I'm just feeling stressed or whether all I got to do is just sit and worship a little bit. And you know what? That worry just lifts away.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's the vibration of the angels, and we're participating in something that's going on in heaven 24/7, and so that is great privilege, and we're excited to get out there and be a part of seeing God do His wonders in this nation,
and celebrating life. And I think it's great that that's part of what you're about. But again, like you said, worship and bringing people together. And Sonic Flood's been doing that. You guys, have and the songs have had longevity and for these many years. And it's so good to see you again. And to hear that you want to be going into churches and universities and having a whole younger generation hear your music. I would love that. So I'm so glad. Where can people get in touch with you again? If they want to book you for a concert or come to their church or whatever, or their home, where can they get in touch with you?
I'm not opposed to it. I'll be at your house if you have coffee. I'll be there. And if they want to get in touch with us, it's SONICFLOOD.com. We have a booking page on our website. Also, if you just want to email us, booking, BOOKING at SONICFLOOD.com, and give us a shout out on all our socials, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or a smoke signal, whatever way you communicate. We want to hear from you.
And one other thing, I want to acknowledge your beautiful, amazing wife, Cece, who is herself fighting for justice. Just give a little mention of what she does and her daily battles.
Yeah, shout out to my awesome wife, Cece. She is senior counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice, working alongside Jay Sekulow and his son, Jordan Sekulow. And right now they are defending of course, the right to vote for the president that we want, because there's many nefarious people that want to take President Trump off the ballot and make it illegal to vote for him, which is cuckoo insane. Also, they've been working with the families of the hostages in Israel, and trying to get those hostages released. Of course, they do a lot of pro-life work, and she's an attorney. They do human rights work all around the world. She's all around the world. She's doing it, and I love her, and she's amazing, and she is the one that keeps me going every day and encourages me that today is the day of miracles, and God is a God of wonders, and He is our Father, and He loves us very much. And so I love you, Cece. Mwah.
Yeah, I had to mention her. She's a sweetheart, girlfriend from years ago, and I want to keep. So thank you for Rick. Thank you. God bless you. We will keep you on our prayers, and thank you for all you do and Cece does. And we just wish many blessings to Sonic Flood in your tour.
Thank you so much. We love you. Big heart.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.